Hello, I hope all is well. So this is my 10 HP Ironman. 10 HP, 1 defense, the ultimate glass cannon. All offense with no defense whatsoever. So this will be a progress video, and I have a few major goals I want to achieve. I want to add a couple to my max hit with the Dragon Dagger. I want to unlock Barrage, and I want to get a revitalization pool in my player-owned house. So I'm going to start with a little AFK Blast Furnace pumping. There's a strength level coming in. Got to do a little bit of Blast Furnace, actually a lot of Blast Furnace. I'm not going to put in a lot of clips of that, but I'm going to need a lot of cannonballs throughout this video. So there's another strength level, 74, now 75 strength coming in from Blast Furnace pumping. I must have missed 76 somehow, but there is 77. That was done over the course of a few days. Obviously AFK, I'm not sitting there at the keyboard watching it pump, but it is pretty nice because you can go quite a while, get about 12k experience per hour in strength. Speaking of strength, I believe one of my biggest strengths is being straightforward and honest, so I'd like to share a brief story. Back in March, I received my first 2 legitimate sponsorship offers on this channel. However, I decided to decline them both. Now, as a fairly small channel, turning down sponsorships was a difficult thing for me to do, but I felt it was the right thing to do for my channel and for my audience. There was nothing wrong with the companies that offered to sponsor me, but I just didn't feel right recommending services that I myself would not use. That being said, I'm excited to tell you about today's sponsor, Aura, a company I really trust and can fully stand behind. I'll be honest, I was thrilled when they reached out and offered to sponsor a video because they have a great product. So many of us spend the lion's share of our days online surrounded by data brokers and identity thieves. Aura can identify data brokers exposing your info and submit opt-out requests on your behalf. Brokers are legally required to remove your info if you ask them to, but they make it super hard to do. Let Aura handle that for you. So identity theft is something that personally has always worried me, and that's why I love Aura's identity theft protection. So someone becomes the victim of identity fraud every 14 seconds, and what surprised me the most is that 35% of those victims are my fellow millennials. Help protect your online identity right now with Aura by signing up for a 14-day free trial using my link in the description below, aura.com/Runescape stats. Thanks again to Aura for sponsoring this video. So one of my little side goals here is to get 65 Slayer so that I can kill Dust Devils in the Wilderness Slayer Cave. There is 65 Slayer coming in. They have some fantastic drops for this account, some really valuable alkables, tons of runes, herbs, and some black d'hide vams, which would be coming useful for me. I'm gonna go ahead and try to kill them, and it is not working. I did not realize that you needed an assignment. That is kind of depressing. I was super excited, a bunch of cannonballs made, ready to go. Now I'm just gonna splash out my sorrows away a little bit. So I had like 2,000 U bows from before I kind of took my long break with this account. There is 78 strength coming in, and I finally got a Dust Devil assignment. This felt amazing. I had extended it. It took me like, I don't know, 8 or 10 tries to get that Dust Devil assignment. Maybe not quite that many. But I got an assignment of 240. I made sure to have some bracelets of slaughter on hand. I really wanted those runes, those Laren's keys, all those alkables. There is just one inventory full. There's the looting bag. That is some decent cash, a lot of runes. Those soul runes are great for magic experience. Of course, the dust runes and the fire runes, those are all going to come in useful with the splashing. That's my current setup for cannonings. I got the black d'hide chaps. Next, I wanted to do some Elder Chaos Druids because one of my goals, I'm going to need to get my Herblore up to at least 72 so I can boost and make some stamina potions. So I ended up making 10,000 cannonballs that I was just going to burn entirely on Elder Chaos Druids. Now I decided to take 1,000 at a time. I felt pretty safe at my combat level there. There is the result from several hours of cannoning at Elder Chaos Druids. That is going to be a great step forward in getting my Herblore level up to where I need it. There is 70 Slayer coming in. I'm never going to kill a Kuresk, but it's still a cool milestone, cool for this account. So the way I did this was when I was actively playing, I'd like to do a lot of Slayer. There is 80 range coming in. It's going to make me a lot more powerful when I'm killing those Chin Hunter bots. But I was obviously not going to sit there and watch myself splash or pump the blast furnace or make cannonballs, so that was kind of my AFK stuff. But I like to do some farming and some Slayer when I had time to sit down and play. I was going to need several hundred Limport roots along with many herbs. I was growing all the herb seeds I would get from Slayer and also collecting all the other second ingredients as I could kind of access them. Just kind of knowing that I would have to build up a huge amount, especially things like snape grass. I would definitely have to say farming is one of my favorite skills, and it actually fits really well with my kind of real life lifestyle, so that works out. It's actually my highest experience skill on my main. Just shows you how much I like to farm. But there is another magic level coming in, doing a little stun alching with some of those runes I got from Dust Devils. There is 89 magic coming in. I've done some splashing, teleport to Ferox to just get that nice clip for the level. Alright, time to get started on this herblore grind. I've been saving up a lot of herbs, almost 2 months worth from Elder Chaos Druids, from Slayer assignments, and just from what I've grown on my herb runs. Got to get to 72 for that stamina potion. There is 70 coming in. I also did quite a few farming contracts. I think here I was still only able to do mediums, but I got myself up to hard contracts. These came in super useful for a lot of seeds. And actually this one right here came in super clutch because I was able to get a spirit seed, which I needed to grow a spirit tree in the farming guild. Made it much easier to get to. Save a lot of time for future contracts. There is 70 thieving coming in, doing some pickpocket the master farmer. Another great way to get those herb seeds to make sure I'm constantly doing some herb runs. And there is going to be 71 herblore coming in. I can clean those dwarf weeds. All right, we are making it towards the goal. This was probably my least favorite, no, not probably, definitely my least favorite ingredient to gather, was these wines of Zamorak. So I need the ranging potions for the experience, but also I want ranging potions for PKing. That'll make my range much more potent. That 80 range will boost up nicely, and I'll be able to pierce the defenses of any tanks I may run into. There is 72 herblore. I can now make herblore potions. Well, what have I been making this whole time? All right, I need to make magic potions as well. This was one of my kind of, I would call it a goal, but the stamina potion had a higher requirement, so I needed the goal for the stamina potion, but the magic potions will allow me to use Ice Barrage at lower than 94 magic. There I got the boost. What I didn't show is the 2 hours it took me to get all the spicy stews. I probably, in hindsight, should have just got one more herblore level, so I could have just used the botanical pie. But I got the boost, finally, making some stamina potions. That is awesome. Let's go ahead to the player-owned house. Let's build this revitalization pool, and never again will I be forced to go recharge my stats at the Ferox Enclaves. This is super nice. Even for things like farm runs, it's going to come in really handy. Since over the course of this video I went from 55 to 70 Slayer, and I did entirely Wilderness Slayer, I got tons of Laren's keys, and part of me wanted to wait till the end to do them all at once, but I was not patient enough as I did this over the course of like 4 or 5 months, which is kind of surprising for me considering I waited 9 months all the time for my managing miscellanea videos. But nonetheless, I really wanted to open them because a lot of the rewards were super helpful along the way. Things like iron, coal, and steel bars just led directly to more cannonballs and just saved time that I didn't have to spend buying them in the blast furnace. Things like those palm seeds was awesome. That's like a free 60k farming experience. The rubies and diamonds are great crafting experience, though I honestly probably have more power and strength amulets than I will ever lose PKing. I don't know, I die a lot, and I come to find out with the new bounty hunter that it's not exactly made for 10 HP accounts, so I think I'm going to die a lot more even than I did in the past. I actually do have one of the Dagon High pieces from years ago, like pre-collection log on this account, so I'm not exactly a collection log guy, especially on a 10 HP account, but it would be cool to get the complete set, though I can't wear it, so I guess I don't know how cool that would be. Coins and the rune stuff were decent, alchables, you know, cash is always good. I'm kind of intrigued by these dragon dart tips and arrow tips. I'm trying to think if there's any way I could realistically get a dark bow. And with poison dynamite, I guess the answer is maybe. So it would be cool to get the fletching level up and make, probably have enough to make like 500 dragon arrows at this point. Maybe that'll be a long-term goal. I don't know. I don't know that I'll ever get there on this account, but who knows? I did say at one point that I would probably never get to barrage, and here I am sitting over 90 magic, so with my magic potions I will be barraging once I PK. Alright, that is going to be my last batch of Laren's keys, so I'm going to go ahead and look at the progress on the account. So this is going to be my PKing setup, so I got a little tribrid action. I could go for the Tome of Fire hitting 30s with Fire Wave, or I could go with the ancients. I have over 1,000 ancient ice sacks, which would be super useful. I'm probably going to go with the power Ami if I tribrid. The strength Ami, as I'll demonstrate here, will add 1 extra to the max hit. So there are the stats. I got up to 78 strength, and I missed my last 2 magic levels. I don't know how I did that, but I did get up to 92 magic. And there it is. I'm hitting 26. So with a barrage, I could potentially stack an 82 at combat level 52. So I'm really happy with the progress of this account. It did take me a lot longer than I thought to do this, but I do hope you enjoyed this video. Thanks for watching, especially if you stuck to the end, and I'll see you in the next one. Also, thanks again to Aura for sponsoring this video. Check out that link in the description for a 14-day free trial.